What is a good retirement monthly income for a couple out there? You're watching this, you're going, we're at the finish line, Stan. We don't know what to do. We just need some income to go see the kids and buy that RV or fifth wheel, as they say in Nebraska. I say that because I had no idea what all of that means, and my idea of camping is actually a really run-down Days Inn, no offense to Days Inn. But we're going to talk about retirement income. Like, what's a good amount for a couple out there in, I guess, flyover America and also the big cities, because we're licensed in all 50 states. What is that? That's a really good question for someone that's called Stan the Annuity Man, that has logos everywhere, licensed in all 50 states, America's annuity agent and top agent, representing all carriers. Did I mention that earlier, Big C? I don't think I did. Big C's behind the camera. But we're going to talk about, what's a good retirement income? How do we develop that? How do we create that? What does that look like, Stan the Annuity Man? After this. So retirement income, I don't really like to say the word retirement. It's kind of a curse word for me from North Kakalaki, that's North Carolina. I call it Chapter 2. Chapter 2 is about you. So in Chapter 2, you have to sit down with your significant other who's put up with your rear end for all these years and say, okay, what's our income floor? What does that look like? What amount of money do we need to pay the bills without worrying about what's being said on the cable news channels or what's happening on CNBC and Fox Business and our friends as slick back dudes on Wall Street? What is it for us? So you have to start adding that up. Now, part of your income floor involves the annuity you already have. Social Security. So what's that going to be? When are you going to take it? And if you say, Dan, what's the magic number for that? I've been told numerous things. That's because there's no magic number and everyone's guessing. The magic number is when you need the income. And for Social Security, annuities for that matter, and that is an annuity, you say, what's the right age? Well, the older you are, the higher the payment. So the longer you wait, the higher the payment, but you have to factor in those years you missed while you were trying to thread the needle and see what that break-even point is. In my honest opinion, Stan the Annuity Man, America's annuity agent, take the money. There's no U-Hauls behind hearses, and eventually you're going to be drooling and wearing a diaper. That's my motivational speech for the day. But we are, all of us are, some of us are now. The point is, you have to think about, okay, there's my retirement income floor, Social Security. If you're so fortunate, one of the 9% that have a pension, then pensions on top of that. If you have an IRA, individual retirement account, eventually you're going to have to start taking required minimum distributions. Those are annuity payments as well. So that's going to add to the income, because RMDs in an IRA is the IRS saying, hey, you need to take money out whether you want to or not because we want to tax it. So you're going to have to take that money out. Then you got dividends, and then you got, if you got some rental houses, if you're selling cotton candy or sliders at the fair, that's income. Add it all up and figure out if there's a gap. If there's not a gap, then you're good to go, player. Knock yourself out. If there's a gap, that's where Stan the Annuity Man comes in and my team in Las Vegas, licensed in all 50 states, even that beautiful one you're sitting in, and we can put together a plan using the least, let me say it again, the least amount of money to contractually solve the problem. We don't do hypotheticals, theoreticals, back-tested, unicorns chasing the butterflies, numbers, sales pitch garbage, contractual guarantees. We quote all carriers. These are commodity products, okay? Meaning that there's not one company better than the other. Quotes change like a gallon of milk every 7 to 10 days, and we quote all carriers to see who is looking for your business, looking for your age ranges, your life expectancy tables, where they're going to raise that quote to attract you. If they don't need your life expectancy, they're going to lower the quote to not attract you. That's the reason you got to quote all carriers, because at any point in time, there's a lot of carriers that want your business, and they're going to quote aggressively to get it. So if you said, okay, Stan, we added up all these things, and it's $5,000 a month, but we need $5,750. Okay, then what we'll do, and what you can do if you go to my site at theannuityman.com, you can run a quote doing what we call reverse engineering. In other words, solving for that $750. I'm using that as an example. So you want to know what carrier out there, when you run the quote, would require the least amount of money to guarantee that $750 for me and Eunice, or Eunice and Fred, okay? Who is that person? Who is that carrier? You can run that quote, or you can speak with us, free consultation, book a call on my site, and we'll walk you through it. We will run the quotes for you. We will send you the quotes, and if you like the quote, you can lock it in and go through the application process. Now, with annuities, to fill in that gap for your retirement income for a couple, okay? There's 4 types: income riders, QLACs, DIAs, and SPIAs, single premium immediate annuities. And we're going to ask you 2 questions. What do you want the money to contractually do? In this case, we're talking income. And then secondly, when do you want those contractual guarantees to start? You might say, we need to fill that gap now, or we want to fill that gap later, all right? Let's talk about inflation, Stan. I want to hear about inflation, Stan. What's your solution for inflation, Stan? Because everyone out there is saying they have the solution. They don't, okay? They don't. They're also walking around thinking that they have 6-pack abdomen muscles, which they don't. There's not an annuity company that has a product that solves for inflation. I don't care what you've been told or shown. It doesn't exist. And because it doesn't exist, and you're hearing that from the top agent in the country, then don't buy it. Don't buy the dream. You're going to own the contractual reality. So how do we solve for inflation? At the time you need additional money for your income floor, then we do a reverse engineer quote for a single premium immediate annuity and solve for it at that time. Otherwise, you're just throwing darts and you're buying an agent a car for saying, my annuity will adjust with inflation every year, Mrs. Jones. No, it won't, Sparky. It will not, okay? They're just trying to sell you something, all right? What we're trying to do is educate you so you can make an informed decision on your terms and your time frame. So when you're talking about retirement income or Chapter 2 income for a couple, okay, first of all, I'm going to advise you, and my team as well, joint life. What joint life means is that when one of you dies, the income continues uninterrupted and unchanged for the surviving spouse. Okay, I'm betting on the females out there, it's an evil conspiracy, but I'm betting. Okay, but we can also structure it so that when you pass away, headed to the family reunion, we're going to structure it so that 100% of the money goes to the family, the beneficiaries, and the evil annuity company doesn't keep a penny. If I had, Big C behind the camera, if I had $5 for every time someone said, I ain't never going to buy an annuity, son, because when you die, an annuity company keeps money. Oh my gosh. I mean, seriously, I have stab marks from forks like I've been eating. Someone says that, and I just stab myself right in the leg. Because that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Now, you can structure it that way if you hate your family. And I did have a guy call recently. He goes, I've heard you say all this, Learjet hits the mountain and save it for my family. He goes, I literally don't like my family. I want the highest payment, life only. Okay, great. Great, Fred. You don't care. That's fine. But 99.9% of you go, I don't want the annuity company to keep a penny, but I want them on the hook to pay for as long as I'm breathing or as long as my wife is breathing. We can do that. So they're on the hook to pay forever, but when your Learjet hits the mountain, rented of course, leased of course, that whatever's left in the account goes to your beneficiaries, and the evil annuity company, they do not keep a penny. So we can do the retirement income. We can do Chapter 2 income. What you need to do initially is add up what's coming in now and see if there's a gap. My name is Stan the Annuity, and before I go, I need you to do one thing for me. You can hit subscribe and all that stuff, leave comments. I do read them late at night because I can't sleep. 61 years old, you can't sleep. But do me a favor. Right above me, magically, you're going to see a countdown clock. That's going to point to a video that explains the process of how we do business at the Annuity Man. The fact that everybody there is licensed in all 50 states, but everyone there is not on commission. We're not hammers looking for nails. We're looking to help you, listen to you, and tell you the truth. As my grandfather, Hunter Garrison, in Stanley, North Carolina, I'm not making that up. Stanley, North Carolina, smart man, was not an educated man, but a very smart man, and he said to me this, if you tell the truth, you don't have to remember anything, Stan. That's our business model. It's that simple, and it should be that simple with annuities. I'm Stan the Annuity Man. See you next time.